Hello? Hello?
Do you know what blows my mind, ladies and gentlemen? When something like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which by the way has a black man in the lead, so go figure that one out for as much as you want to. It's just so amazing how many people just come to the defense of why Ubisoft, or should I say Ubi Slut or Ubi Slop at this stage, would even make such a minuscule decision become a nuclear fallout. Because quite simply, if you're playing a Japanese video game, you expect to play as a Japanese protagonist, right? But no, we've got Yasuke or Yakuza. I mean, the mispronunciation of this guy's name already has my tongue wagging, because normally when I see a hot babe in front of me, my tongue waggles in many various directions. But today, ladies and gentlemen, there is more on Assassin's Creed Shadows that I want to unpack for you. And quite simply, I cannot take the credit, but it's nice when I can sit back, watch other people report on this stuff, and then I can offer my own point of view.
Well, space fans, exciting news, huh? And there's even more in part 2.
On today's episode of Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Okay, you can come.
Are you coming?
Kind of busy right now.
And I'm coming for it, Ken. I'm coming for the fucking money, you piece of shit.
I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling.
In the ass end of space, even aliens watch Jason King with Kung Fu Hot Dog.
This is the greatest show I've seen in my life.
Duke Nukem likes this guy.
People, I get the same feeling, so I'm coming day and night. I mean, it's terrific, right?
So we should get on with this one today from thatpartplace.com, where the senior writer for Assassin's Creed Shadows declared there's more than enough games out there with white men as the only playable characters. Let's do better. So it's interesting because he's just focused on white men. He himself is a white man. What's wrong with white women in a video game? Are they underrepresented, or should we have more of them, or are they cringeworthy? It's never explained actually. So senior writer for the game is Giles Armstrong.
Uh-oh. I think I heard a toilet flush. Maybe somebody lost a turtle.
The writer in question is named Giles Armstrong. Don't harass this person or anyone else, by the way, that I feature in this video.
If you're going to report on these things, get the pronunciation correct. It is Giles, like Rupert Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
My name is Anthony Stewart Head, and I play Giles.
And previously detailed an animus against white characters as part of representation ideology. What I find very funny about all of this is that you've got a person who's Caucasian who's telling you that it's bad if you like overrepresentative white people in your entertainment. We're going to put a stop to that, because seriously, if that was me under the spotlight saying what he was saying, what do you think? What kind of backlash do you think I would get? Armstrong announced he was a senior writer for AC Shadows after the game's trailer debuted a few days ago. He wrote on X, "Now that Ubisoft Sofia has been confirmed as working on it, I can finally reveal I was a senior writer for AC Shadows, working under the guidance of Ubisoft Quebec and the excellent Alyssa Mossymind. I can tell you, you're all in for a treat." So Alyssa Mossymind apparently is a very dubious writer of sorts. She follows Sweet Baby Inc. So that's all you need to know right there and right then, folks. And of course, look at the people who are involved from various Ubisoft offices around the world with this one particular game. The one particular game they need to get right, because apparently quite a few of Ubisoft shares or their stock has fallen since the announcement of the trailer. And I know people are already defending it on one side, on the other side. Like me, I just think, why the hell are you putting a black guy in a game about feudal ancient Japan? I want to play as a badass Japanese character, not some black dude they've fished out of the river from Zimbabwe, and apparently he's going to be your hero going forward. Even Karim Jovian, the man with the clown nose who made that infamous video this year about Stellar Blade, was even waxing lyrical about a statue of Yasuke. Like, come on guys, cry for him. He was a samurai. He honestly was.
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams.
And at this stage, folks, I don't know what to believe anymore, except for the fact that, again, if even the people of Japan are upset about this video game announcement from Ubisoft, then are we going to piss them off? No, we're not. In fact, already, even in that god-awful 3-minute and 48-second trailer detailing the game, not the actual gameplay, I mean, there is this talk about why is Naoi, who is the female protagonist, and I'll get back to her later on, siding with the black samurai they called Yasuke, because in the trailer he kills his own native Japanese people.
You are still a frog in a well who knows nothing of the sea.
Now, I think personally that could be a bait and switch. Maybe that's a trailer for dramatic purposes. Maybe that doesn't actually unfold in the game. I'm just speculating, because a black guy killing native Japanese people he gets a free pass. But if it was a white guy doing it, oh, he'll be called every single slur under the sun. Which brings me back to Resident Evil 5 and my most popular video on my channel, where Chris Redfield from the BSAA is accompanied by Sheva Alomar, who is of mixed race descent. But people take that as an example and say, well, Chris Redfield is racist. He's slaying down all these people of color because they're infected by the Ouroboros virus. But that's absolute nonsense. When I played that game, I was playing an action game. Nothing more, nothing less. But as we progress, and this just gets even more awful, back in 2018, Giles Armstrong reacted to a video of actor Chadwick Boseman surprising Black Panther fans, writing, "Hey, #GameDev, when I say in our meetings that representation matters, well, see for yourself," which is so stupid on this count because we're talking about Marvel Comics, one of the most diverse IPs out there. Everyone wants to see a positive version of themselves on screen. Everyone! There's more than enough games out there with white men as the only playable characters. Let's do better. Giles, there's a couple of things I'd like to address here, my friend. You and I should have a talk, and I will say to your face, your rather handsome face, that as a man of color, I don't care to see myself being represented on the big or small screen. Back in the 1980s, when I would watch the A-Team with my father, I was drawn to Mr. T because he was a big badass, not because he was the same complexion as me. And me liking Mr. T did not eradicate my love for Hannibal, Face, or Murdoch, because as a collective, they all had various personalities I was drawn to.
I'll take point. Face, you take the left. Murdoch, you're on rear guard. On a 30 count. Give us crossfire and a retreat.
Oh, Hannibal, don't put this crazy man on the crossfire. I don't want to get shot by this fool.
Look, Bruce Willis as David Addison from Moonlighting was the guy who inspired me to be the guy I am today. And he's a white dude, but I never saw that. I just saw a very funny man on the small screen out acting Sybil Shepherd, and I was just drawn to that.
If you don't leave this instant, I'm gonna scream.
Oh my gosh, well that would bring the geek in here, wouldn't it? Tell me about him anyway. Hope you two aren't planning anything serious.
Addison, you are the most
Yeah, that would be a waste.
And then the other thing is today I've been replaying Uncharted Drake's Fortune. I thought I would actually hate that gameplay again because there are certain levels like when you take that bloody boat and you have to go up all these various shifts of water and rapids to escape the bad guys with Elena Fisher on your back. Hello, firing a flare gun at the baddies. But it's been really, really enjoyable. And just to hear Nolan North's vocal tones and Richard McGonigal as Sally Sullivan and Emily Rose as Elena Fisher, it just brought back so many member berries. I absolutely enjoy that.
You make it sound so dirty.
And not for 1 minute did I sit back and think to myself, I'm not going to play Uncharted anymore because a lead white guy is taking away my representation. He's not. He's actually furthering my experience. I just want to have a great time. When I've gone to the cinema to watch an action film, it's not because the lead actor is a black dude. It's because it's somebody who's got an action pedigree. So when he talks about that, it's just somebody who's just in their own echo chamber. They really don't care what anybody thinks. If they get challenged, they'll block them on social media because that's the way of the world, folks. In furtherance of this article, we've got blackgamedevs.com. I thought this was an actual joke. And if you want to know what this site is all about, it's who they are. You can hire them. You can buy their stuff. Now, are they a talented bunch? I don't know. Mr. Alexander Francois from the UK, my neck of the woods, is looking for work, and he's made something called the Slaughter Act 1. I won't look at it just in case it is maybe not safe for work. But it's a bit, isn't it incredible? Isn't it a bit disingenuous that you have to create a website called blackgamedevs.com? Because immediately I look at my skin and I think, well, you know what? I might have the complexion, but I don't have the mentality or the features that define a black person. So that rules me out. If you're Asian, if you're Chinese, and especially if you're white, do you think you got a hell's chance of applying for a job or getting your profile on there? No, you're not. So already there's all about diversity and inclusion. I think it should be retitled Diversity and Exclusion. Mark Grigsby, okay, he's the studio head for Infinity Ward, who people have said now have gone downhill with the Modern Warfare series, or Call of Duty, COD for short. And that's the famous gif of him where he's demonstrating his love for actually creating animated weapons for the Modern Warfare 1 remake, which was excellent in my books from 2019. It's a great video. Why don't you just look at what he's achieved through meritocracy rather than the color of his skin? You can admire somebody and just say to yourself, well, look, if they can do that, I can do it. It's not about your tonal complexion. It's about what you genuinely have as a talented person, whether you're a male or female.
What is a turnaround?
What a beautiful pair of knockers.
So, hey guys, I thought I'd say the best for last. When you see this, I tell you, this had me in hysterics. So, the woman on the left is Sachi. She's a professor, so we've got to give her proper title. She's Professor Sachi Schmid Hori, Professori Japanese Literature and Culture. She's one of the people that Ubisoft had hired to oversee the project of Assassin's Creed Shadows. When you hear what book this woman has written and what it's about, you will die with laughter or you'll have nightmares forever and ever. Amen. So, this is to quote the professor, I am interested in investigating how gender, sexuality, corporality are represented and negotiated in pre-17th century Japan narratives and illustrations. My first book, Tales of Idolized Boys, Love in Medieval Japanese Narratives, holy shit, which often, can I read that? Let me just minimize that. Oh, here we go. Oh, right, wow. Which often depicts romantic relationships between Buddhist priests and adolescent boys. Do you know when I was an adolescent boy what I was doing? Watching endless repeats of the Benny Hill Show and Kenny Everett and the gorgeous women that appeared in them, and maybe looking at the odd naughty Playboy mag whenever I could. That was my adolescence. But apparently, according to the professoid right here, it's about adults and adolescent boys who are just engaged in, shall we say, more than your fair share of just having common interests. So here's the review on Amazon. It's only had one review, funny enough, from one customer who recited the book as being a documentary rather than an actual novelization. A highly engaging and original tales of idolized boys tackles a sorely neglected theme, namely same-sex love in medieval Japan. And so, through thorough and detailed examination, I bet, and a large corpus of tales around the figure of Chigo, the book will be of deep interest not only to scholars of Japan working on gender and sexuality, but equally to those who seek to understand the historically contingent and polymorphous nature of sex love, not videotape, and desire from a comparativist perspective from Rajaya Sri Pandi, Goldsmiths, University of London. I think I used to work there actually as an administrations officer quite a few years ago, so I never met this particular lecturer, and I'm glad I didn't, but good grief.
Harikari tsunami, kamikaze banzai.
Yamaha, Nikon, Casio, Iwa.
Tales of Idolized Boys is the first book-length study of Chigo, which is young male acolytes whose functions included erotic labor. Yeah, we call that mums who do pole dancing in a seedy nightclub in America or Great Britain. As part of the third wave of Anglophone scholarship to tackle issues of gender, sexuality, and power in the literary culture of pre-modern Japan, it sheds important light on the understudied Chigo and performs important work for the broader field by synthesizing contemporary Anglophone and Japanophone conceptual work in gender and sexuality studies with pre-modern literary scholarship. Charlotte Eubanks, Pennsylvania State University. I wonder if the professor is married. I'm betting she's not. She looks a bit insufferable. If she's going to be writing garbage about adolescent love with adults who should know better, yeah, I can kind of smell Pete Townsend from The Who when I think about this, because it was his birthday today, I believe. And I heard the DJ on Capital Gold saying, oh, what a wonderful man Pete Townsend was. Except for the fact he was doing dubious research. Obviously, he was cleared for that many months later after a thorough police investigation. But it's kind of funny that if you go down the rabbit hole online, it's just very interesting what you come across.
Oh, feeling sad? Watch Jason King. Hail to the king, baby.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I lied. There is one more story to cover Assassin's Creed Shadows. The lead character of Naomi, here we go. Had to do that. Speculation. New Hibana Elite in Rainbow Six Siege based on Naomi from Assassin's Creed Shadows. What? With the recent announcement of Assassin's Creed Shadows, another Rainbow Six Siege crossover in terms of Elite skin or Elite skin isn't an impossible scenario. Siege and Assassin's Creed are two Ubisoft franchises acclaimed by gamers worldwide, the former for its tactical depth and the latter for its historical backdrop and immersive storylines. Speculation has swirled around a potential crossover Elite skin for the assassin ninja Naomi and a formidable attacker, Hibana, from Rainbow Six Siege. So you can see the two ladies side by side. Now, in my reaction video from Friday, I said the character design for Naomi wasn't bad. She didn't look at all mannish. I know some people have pointed that out. Now I'm going to go to ChatGPT in a minute and I'll ask the question, Is Naomi male or female? So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I uploaded the picture of Hibana. Remember, this is meant to be an elite skin to be crossed over with Naomi from AC Shadows. So this is an image of Hibana from the video game Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. And clearly, ChatGPT, I keep saying B for some reason, immediately identifies her as a her because they referred to her as she. She's depicted with a tactical outfit, often featuring a hoodie and gear suited for breaching operations. The problem with that game, everything is in the first person narrative, and I'm not sure if you do see the other characters in third person. I believe you do, but you never quite get a good look at her. That's why I like the third person experience. So I uploaded a picture of Naomi from the new Assassin's Creed being released on the 15th of November this year. This image depicts the main character from the game Rise of the Ronin, an action RPG developed by Team Ninja. The game is set in 19th century Japan during a period of significant political upheaval and the transition from the Tokugawa shogunate to the Meiji Restoration. The character is portrayed as a Ronin, a masterclass samurai navigating through this turbulent era. The background features traditional Japanese architecture, reinforcing the historical setting of the game. So I asked GPT, is the character male or female? The main character in Rise of Ronin is male. The game's narrative and promotional materials identified the protagonist as a male Ronin, navigating the political and social upheavals of late 19th century Japan. Oh dear, I've been kicked in the ghoulies by AI. AI fails to understand that what they're looking at there is not a female. It's a male. So on that one, ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea why I'm looking in that direction because I've only got one camera staring at my stupid face right now. Were you surprised? Were you disturbed by Professor Hori's book about adolescent love, forbidden, illegal love with priesthood people who should know better? Well, I can't imagine where she's basing her experiences from, but rather her instead of me. And in that case, folks, if you enjoyed this video today, hit that like button, smash the like and subscribe button, and if I were you, and if you were me, you should come back for the next video.
I'm sweating like a hooker in church.
You brought a hooker to church?
Why not?